Hey there, I'm Jama, and over the past few years, I've become very interested in onomatology, the study of names. I've never really liked my name until I researched the meaning of it. My name means paradigm shifter, and I'd like to shift your paradigm by shining a light on onomatology and how it can potentially help you find your purpose, help you communicate better with others, or even both. In each episode, I ask someone 8 basic questions regarding their first name. So sit back, relax, and try to shift your paradigm with this next episode. All right, on today's episode, I'm excited for this one. This name I have not interviewed yet. It is beautiful and unique. And so, welcome to the podcast, Zaria.
Hello, my name is Zaria. I work at Willery, where I specialize in events in marketing, and I also work for another company called Real Pop Fusion, where we perform on stage and give back to the community. So I'm coming to you almost live in Elyria, Ohio.
Oh, nice. Very
Yes.
cool. Where is that exactly? Is that Northern Ohio?
So more so to the west. So if you're
Okay.
familiar with Westlake, Avon Lake, I'm a little closer to that region, Lorraine, but I'm originally from Akron. So
Okay.
that is a little bit of a different shift, but still love it. Still in the heart of this country in Ohio.
Yeah, love it. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm really glad you're on.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, well, we will just start with the first question, which is before you learned about my podcast,
Hmm.
did you know the meaning of your name?
Yes, I did. I think back to the time when I was growing up as a kid of what does my name mean? I'm constantly asked that, even by elementary kids, and I'm 5 years old of what is my name? How, like, what does it mean? And
Yeah.
my parents, I forget what meaning they told me before. I think my mom told me it means princess. And at the time, being a kid, I'm believing in that, growing up with Disney, of course, too, believing, wow, my parents named me after a princess. So as I got older and delve into my name, just looking at, okay, Zaria is also a country in Africa. Zaria's here, Zaria's here. I found a few different meanings of my name. So with that said, princess, I've heard, and I believe that's one definition, but there's also the Slavic goddess in Czechoslovakian mythology where it means the goddess of beauty. So it's one of the two that I've discovered that's what my name means. But I'm hoping you can tell me what it actually means.
That's awesome. You're
Yeah.
spot on. I have a little bit more though.
Yes, I can't wait to hear it. Yes, I'm talking to the guru, so let's hear
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but
it.
I am a curious explorer of names. That you can call me that.
Love it. And then I will. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so you do have a multicultural name, which is really great, I think.
Mhm.
And the common translations include princess, like you said, which is
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
And that is Arabic.
Hmm.
And then also in Arabic, it could mean flower or blossom.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah. And then in Hebrew, it means God has helped.
Wow.
And then I found a term in Slavic and Russian that means dawn or sunrise.
I've heard of the sunrise part before too. Wow.
Yeah, awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I just think that those meanings are all very positive in my opinion.
Hmm.
They're all very much like elevated and
Yes.
I think of like growth and positivity. What are your takeaways?
Absolutely. And blooming, it's interesting how a name manifests into what we do in life. For example, as you mentioned in Russian, sunrise, that makes me think of sunflowers. That is my favorite flower. And I've been told I'm light, or I bring the light, or making things blossom and bloom. Funny enough, I activate spaces for a living of any type of mall, venue, or room. I make it bloom and let it grow. So I think that's a perfect tie-in. The princess part, I have worked as a Disney princess before, so that also ties in of
For
being
real?
yes, yes, yes. Actually, more than anything, I worked for a sister company, actually based here in Ohio, where I was Princess Tiana, an understudy for Jasmine and Moana. And
Oh
even with
my
my other job now, yeah, partner with Disney. So the princess manifestation, my mom told me when I was a kid, whether at the time I thought she could have made it up, but I ran with it. Turns out she's right, and I truly grew up to be a princess. Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Now, I don't
Yes.
know if it's the air conditioning in my room or what, but I got chills. Like,
Really?
you tell me
Oh, that's
that.
amazing. Yay, that's
Yeah, call
awesome.
me weird, but I just think
No,
that that is so neat. Like,
thank
because
you.
even though your name means princess, it doesn't mean that you have to
Great.
like have been a, in a princess costume or whatever, but you have been. So that's so cool.
Right. And it shows the power of the mind with the label, the name, all of it weaving in together. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So thank
that's
you for sharing that with me and letting me know even more of my name because I think it absolutely fits. Absolutely
yeah.
fits.
Before I continue with this episode, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by the Intentional Leader Network. If you're ready to grow as a leader but don't want to do it alone, this is for you. As a member of this virtual leadership network, I feel more confident in my leadership abilities and have skills I can draw from as I continue to grow in my leadership roles. If you are looking to grow intentionally in your leadership skills, I encourage you to subscribe and grow alongside me and a wonderful community of leaders. To join, check out the link in the show notes and start leading more intentionally today. Awesome. Well, and
Yes.
this is just one extra question that
Yeah.
I want to ask.
Yes.
So the name Sarah also
Mm,
means princess. And
correct.
so I'm just curious, do you have any friends named Sarah or any like close connection to the name Sarah?
I can't escape Sarah. I will always have a Sarah in my life, no matter who or what it is. I've always had a best friend named Sarah since probably kindergarten. There's always been a Sarah in my life. And my mom also told me, your name is a form of the name Sarah, which is in the Bible. And my mom wanted something biblical, but also the pizzazz of how she found my name, too. So the
Wow.
name Sarah, every time I see it or hear it, it is a certain alignment of, oh, I could be a Sarah 2.0-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Awesome. I love
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, how did your parents choose your name? Exactly. Can you elaborate a little
I
more?
can. And this is a crazy story because it's going to sound unbelievable, but a little backstory. So I have an older brother. His name is Darian. My older eldest sister, because I only have one sister, her name is Ariana, and my name is obviously Zaria. My parents how they came up with their names, that is unclear to me. But there's still that similar tone of Darian, Ariana, and Zaria. Sounds great. I asked my mom, of course, how did you and dad come up with my name? It begins with the Z, last letter of the alphabet. Very uncommon. And my parents told me they were watching a show called Parenthood back in, God, ooh, I'm not sure. And I don't want to embarrass them if I say the year. I'm not sure when the show came out, but one of the characters, her name is Zaria. And my mom heard it, looked it up, found out it aligns with my dad's Czechoslovakian background. And for transparency, so this makes sense, my dad is biracial and my mom is black. So between all of the different cultures and mix coming together, that is the tie-in for my name. My mom heard it, looked it up, aligned, and thought, wow, this still fits my husband at the time's lineage and family, and that is how I came about.
Oh, that's
Yes,
beautiful. I
thank
love
you. Thank
it.
you. Yes,
Very cool.
interesting to hear on a show because I've never heard my name on any other show until a kid told me that I am an Overwatch character. Apparently, there's a
Mm.
character in Overwatch, which is a game that kids
Okay.
play, or maybe some adults, and a character's name is Zarya. And that
Okay.
is how I think I'm finally getting on the map, so to speak, of my
I love
name.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've actually, your name is the first name that I've ever seen being Zaria, but
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it somewhere else and I just can't place it. So I don't know.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
would love for you to think on that because my mission is to meet a Zaria in my lifetime. I've met one when I studied at Kent State University,
Okay.
and it was through a line at a store, and I saw her name, and I go, "Your name is Zaria," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Zaria," and I pull out my ID. I've never met, and this was probably 3 years ago. So, yeah,
I
crazy
love
stuff.
that.
Yes,
That's cool.
indeed.
Power
Yeah.
of a name. You just feel instantly bonded or connected.
You really do. And
Yeah.
interesting enough, shortly after you reached out, actually, I looked up my name a little bit more of now I'm curious if other Zarias have had a similar lifestyle or how many Zarias are we all the same? Do we have this cult of personality type of thing? And the answer to that is yes, I have looked up Zaria more, my full name, and found not only girls that work in events, but they are wellness coaches. I used to teach yoga and I practice Reiki. They've had similar lifestyles to mine, getting a master's in HR or expanding into acting. Interesting how that name has also shown similar synchronicity and interest in hobbies, which I
Yeah.
mean could be random, but it is a little too specific to be just a coincidence, I'd say.
Yeah, I
Yes.
totally agree. That's one of my theories is that like
Yes,
your name like kind of is like a prophecy. It's prophetic in terms of
absolutely.
like you could grow into the meaning and you could
Hmm.
tap into that and it will help you become a stronger person.
Yes, absolutely. Could not agree more. And
Yeah.
the interesting part with the name, again, the 26th letter in the alphabet, Z. When I
Yeah.
studied abroad in Italy and I'm worried about, okay, can people say my name correctly? It doesn't happen here too often. How is it going to go abroad, overseas? Everyone can say my name correctly, especially on the western side of Europe when I was traveling out there. But I
Yeah.
went by Zeta because I would say, just call me Z. And in Italian, it's Zeta. And so I've
Yeah.
had that name before. I've had Z, I've had Zeta, I had Czar, I've had I think that's it just for nicknames, but
Okay.
interesting
Gotcha.
of the cultural pronunciation or how it could be perceived, and then that becoming a nickname too.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
that like is a perfect segue into my next question, which is like when somebody mispronounces your name, and I have to pause. I am
Hmm.
so sorry for adding an H at the end of your name in an
Oh,
email. I'm
it's
so
okay.
sorry.
It is seriously
I just
so
totally,
fine. It's like the Sarah thing when sometimes it's an H and sometimes it's not. I've seen my
yeah.
name with an H. I'm used to it. It is totally
Okay.
okay, but I appreciate that.
Yeah. I totally caught that and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You spelled it correctly before, so truly it is absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
I'm very particular about that.
Yeah.
So.
Makes
But like,
sense.
yeah. But like when somebody misspells it or mispronounces it, like what do you like? What's your like initial like gut feeling?
I like this question a lot of almost of okay, it happens. I could laugh, I could get mad. As a kid, it was frustrating, so much so I wanted to change my name because I felt now I can say as an adult, loss of identity in that sense of who am I? No one can say it. But now it's okay, depending on the situation, how soon could I correct them? Is it as they're giving a presentation on stage in a room full of people? Am I going to stand up and say, no, it's pronounced Zaria? No.
Yeah.
But overall, we all have things to learn. I can understand and I can accept that my name's unfamiliar and it doesn't bother me the way it did back when I was a kid. Before, it would just tear me apart and I would be shy, afraid to speak, explaining my name, and then they always think my name sounds like the word sorry. So when I say, "Oh, my name is Sorry," or it's actually Zaria, they're like, "Oh no, you're fine. You're fine." And I have to repeat myself again. "No, my name is Zaria." And then if they can't hear it correctly, it's turns into a whole run of show of name pronunciation, which
Yeah.
at that point I just laugh. So,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
awesome. I
Thanks.
love when people have unique names and they've grown into themselves in terms of like they're very laid back about it, like
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
you've done the work to like really be confident in who you are, and if somebody
Absolutely.
doesn't accept you, then that's not your really your problem.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. So thankful it is not anything that brings me to tears or makes me feel less than, to your point. So I'm thankful for my name, and if it gets mispronounced, that's okay. Now,
Yeah.
whenever I'm at a restaurant, let's say at the hostess stand, and they give a name, typically it's the person I'm with whose name I give just before I'm in a crowded Outback Steakhouse or something, and it's Zaria, just
Yeah.
Z, or whoever I'm with. Or worst case, I give my middle name, which is Janelle. So
Oh,
it's a lot easier that way.
nice.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it. Yeah, for sure. My husband's Philip, so I'll always give the name Philip instead of mine.
Then
Always.
you get right. So
Yeah.
you understand. How have you had your name pronounced before? I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean they like change the Y with the M or say Jamie or they'll
Oh,
just be like they'll like say Jaima, like they'll like mispronounce the Y sort of. So,
interesting.
but it's spelled phonetically, so
Yeah.
I don't
Wow,
know.
that really interesting. I don't know if mine is phonetically accurate.
Yeah.
You tell me. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. And so you said like or I guess you already said like when you were younger you had thoughts of like I wish I had a different name maybe.
Correct. And I wanted my sister's name. And as I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, her name is Ariana. Everyone could say it correctly, although her name has two N's at the end. So it's Arianna. Some at worst, she would get Ariana. Ariana. I've had everything I've said. Zaria, Zaria, Z, or oh, I can't even try to pronounce it. I've had substitute teachers back in probably second grade. As soon as we hit the middle of the roster, I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing this one of those speeches, and you just know it's a confidence learning lesson.
Yeah.
And it really did bother me. I would ask my mom how I could change my name, and she told me like she felt bad. She truly felt terrible the way I felt, and love my mom. We have a great relationship, but I could just see however it is to be a parent of wow, my child doesn't like the way something I did for them, and they're struggling with building relationships and confidence. So my mom
Yeah.
put me in theater classes, and the rest is history. And I've learned to be
Oh,
proud and to share. Yes.
I love that.
Thanks. Thank
That's
you.
great. Very cool. When if you were forced to change your first name, what name would you choose and why?
I've always liked the name Natalia. I don't know why.
Oh,
That
yeah.
name is so pretty to me. It's different and it still has the A at the end of the name. So I have one of those sounding names,
Yeah.
which I know a lot of women tend to have, or
That's
those that
yeah.
end with A. Yeah.
That's so interesting because I just did an interview with another person right before you, and she
Mhm.
chose Natalie, and my daughter's name is
Wow.
Natalie,
Are
and
you
I've had
serious?
yeah, and I've had a few other people choose they would choose the name Natalie.
What?
Yeah.
That you have some powers, my friend. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. That was pretty cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a beautiful
There's
name.
something, the way it rings, I
Yeah.
like it as well because I don't know a lot of N starting names, meaning there's Nicole,
Yeah.
sure, think of Natalia or Natalie, but I've always still, if I had to change my first name, which I would not do, but I would
Yeah.
still want something a little off the beaten path, like my name is, because I'm
Yeah.
used to it now and it's personality fitting.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Okay,
And I have two more questions.
ask away.
My favorite one is this one. So, do you think that the meaning, and I know you kind of talked about it earlier in our
Mhm.
conversation, but I'd love to know more. Like, do you think the meaning of your name has any relevance on the way that you act or the way that you see the world around you? And if so, how?
I love this question too, because how do I answer this without sounding full of myself? But that's the point of the show and the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I think it does make sense for me. I think of someone like myself who will wear cowboy boots and a hat and just wear that in Elyria, Ohio to the grocery store. Little different, zany out there, but it fits because it reflects my style, my personality, this uniqueness that I bring to the workplace or into any sort of relationship that I have. I think the meaning behind my name of blooming, princess, sunrise, all of the energies of being carefree and almost, I don't want to say childlike because that makes me sound immature, but almost going back to the roots of the grounding opportunities of a flower blooming from the dirt or the sun coming from the sky. I think that is a perfect parallel to who I am as a person of lifting, bringing people up, allowing them to blossom, and that clearly shows within myself too.
I love that.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
awesome.
Thank
Well, and like,
you.
I've only gotten to know you through this conversation, but I will say that,
Yeah.
like, you have such a positive, friendly confidence, which is such
Thank
like,
you.
I feel like a
Yes.
princess is should be confident and friendly, and
Yes.
you are like that.
Thank you. Yes. I will preface that too with saying for the princess thing and getting into that, prior to that, I did a pageant when I was 18 years old because I always thought they were silly. And I got into it thinking, okay, if I'm knocking it, let me figure out why I'm knocking it. And that type of princess-esque mentality and behavior led also into the Disney path too. And I didn't even know at that point of where my life or my name, where it would take me, which I think is important to highlight of the question you just asked of does this fit into your name, into your personality, into your life? Absolutely. It's risky. I feel like my name is the way you can pronounce it, taking a risk. And that is me. I'm ready to get out there and try something new.
I love it. That's
Yay.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
So, when I started this podcast 2 years ago, I wanted to know what books were saying about the significance of names.
Hmm.
And so I looked up what is the best-selling book of all time, happens to be the Bible.
Yes,
And
that's
as I've
right.
been reading it more, like there are several people mentioned where it talks about their name changing.
Yes.
And so like I was curious, like just about your opinion
Hmm.
about because, like, for one example in Genesis, it says that God told Abram that he was to change his name to Abraham and to change his
Yep.
wife's name Sarai to Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just curious, like, what do you think the significance is of that book mentioning that their names needed to change?
What a profound question, because this is touching on history to evolution to growth. And it makes me immediately think, how do we adapt to present day, present times? Why did the name change, whether biblical or how people can have nicknames and then they just go by that? It's the perfect example of even way back in the time period of the Bible and everything else we were still growing and evolving with names. And if I apply that to myself to think of how could my name be shortened? Would it be Zari or would it be, let's say, the reciprocal? Zaria is extended with an H or another way. Maybe that's where the time we're heading to is truly. And I think the influence that has just goes to show people adapt, they evolve. I would hope it has nothing to do with pronunciation, but maybe you can tell me if it is. But I have a feeling it probably is.
Yeah, about evolving into somebody new. Yeah,
Yes, I knew it. I knew it. And of course,
totally.
that plays into anthropology and looking at the tongue and speech pathology, how we can say and make, quote, sounds with our mouths, our names. I do think of now that you've asked that, how would they have said my name way back when? Probably Sarah,
Yeah,
depending on where I'm at in the world. Definitely would have
yeah.
been a Sarah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, great
Yes.
answers. Those are all
Thank
the questions I
you.
have. Do you have any questions for me?
I do. I do. I cannot wait for you to write a book and have an
Oh,
encyclopedia of this knowledge to reference and everything else. And I've heard you mention it on a recent episode of getting into a book one day, but I'd love to know what led you into this interest and purpose of yours, because I truly believe you have a talent into this. And to recall, there are so many names in the world, and you can have this knowledge up here in your head and share that. That is profound. That is a very big deal.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that this has been such a great blessing in my life because a
Yeah.
couple years ago, I was in my late 30s and I went to a conference just to help my spirit grow.
Hmm.
And I don't know, something internally like was like in my mind. I just had the thought, you should look up the meaning of your name again.
Yeah.
And so I did, and it was really insightful this time because I had done it before, but when I found that
Hmm.
it meant supplanter, and then supplanter means to turn over, which my translation is paradigm shifter. You're looking at things from
Wow,
different
absolutely.
perspectives. Yeah. So it helped me make sense of who I am because I have
Hmm.
struggled in my life about why I do the things that I do,
Right, right.
why I get so analytical about things, and it helped me just kind of, I'm like, okay, this helps me understand myself a little bit better, and
Hmm.
maybe I could share this with other people and help them feel
Yes.
more comfortable with who they are.
And you
So
are.
yeah, it just kind of grew from there, and it's been a great way to meet people like yourself and
Yes.
like grow a kind of a community
It
essentially.
is. I
So
feel like this, and looking at who you've had on, names I have been familiar with or haven't, it is still so interesting to learn. And
yeah,
now I have a follow-up question
yeah,
to ask with that. What is your zodiac sign? And what are your thoughts on astrology? That could be a whole other episode that we could take offline.
yeah.
But for the sake of it, I'm just curious because when you mentioned learning yourself more, I got into astrology years ago because I knocked it. And then I thought, let me look into this. I started doing charts, looking into my friends. And then I saw different parts of, whoa, placements, houses, transits.
Yeah.
And then on this conversation in this call, I'm thinking, I wonder if name and astrology, what if it has a mix? What if?
Yeah, that's adds another layer of
Yes.
complexity for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, before I answer, do you want to guess?
Oh, I get. At first, I thought an earth sign, which would
Okay.
be whether you're Virgo or Taurus or Capricorn. I thought one of those at first, but I'm getting a little bit of water instead. So I feel like you were born in, I feel like you're no, midsummer to early fall is your birthday.
I'm a Pisces.
Really? Whoa. See, I knew it was water. I knew it was water. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
That
I
makes
was born
sense.
on the first day of spring, March 20th. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, that's memorable. That
Yeah.
there's a lot I could dissect with that. And again, that is for another time before I take all the time. That is
I love it.
illuminating. Yes, we can learn from each other. It's the passing of knowledge.
I love that for sure.
Yes. How
Yeah.
cool. I'm a Gemini, which makes sense. With the
Okay.
dual
Cool.
and the twins, the personalities. Yes.
I
Very
love that.
valid. Yeah.
So
How cool.
June?
I am May 27th. But yeah,
Okay.
June is, yeah, a little bit of Gemini.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, how cool. I think it
Oh,
applies. To some degree, if we allow it and we believe it, then so it is.
yeah, for sure. Mm. Well, this
Amazing.
has
This
been
was
such
so
a great
fun.
conversation.
It was, and this truly made my week and my weekend. So thank you. I learned a lot today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Of course.
If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe or follow the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps me continue bringing you meaningful conversations with remarkable guests. Don't forget to tune in next time for more insightful discussions and inspiring stories. Until then, thank you for listening and keep striving to make a positive impact wherever you are. And don't forget to tap into the meaning of your own name to find a deeper sense of confidence in your purpose.